I had more matches in TNA than I did in ECW. TNA was what, 12 years old? ECW is only 6 or 7.
Do you think this was a better stage for you?
No, but it was a bigger stage, and they had more money, and it lasted longer. But was it better? No.
Let's talk about some of the matches that you had against Abyss.
Okay.
That are really remembered.
Yeah, Abyss was really fun to work with, because he was young and hungry, and he never said no to anything. He was fun to work with.
And you had mentioned like the one-man gang Invader, that he almost fits that kind of mold as a big guy.
Yeah, he was trying to be too light. Like he was trying to be more of a junior heavyweight, but I talked him out of it eventually.
What
he was trying to like do dives and moonsaults, and he shouldn't do those. Those are for me, or for guys like me.
He doesn't need that to
no.
Get over.
Even though he's trying to show, he's big and he can do it, but should you do it? No. So you got to do what got me over was I knew my moveset looked like I should do it. It wasn't things that because I could do it, I did it, but it doesn't like a power bomb. You never see me power bomb because that doesn't look like I should do it. So if it doesn't look like I should do it, I'm not going to do it. It's a work. So you have your moveset to what it looks like you should do. And then those moves belong to you. But just because you can do something don't mean you should do it, because then you're just fitting it in instead of making it you. Even though he probably can, even though. It's not that impressive if he shows us that the moves I do are easy. It's so easy he can do it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. Then it leaves nothing for everyone else.
Right. It kind of kills it.
Oh, there was one other match in WWE's ECW I wanted to mention. The match you wrestled Kurt Angle. I think it was a #1 contenders match. It was a TV match.
Yeah, it was a good match. I liked wrestling him. I don't like going over a match with him because he was kind of a pain in the ass. Kept being real particular and going over the whole match. Every time I see him, he'd go over the whole match. So after a while, I had to hide from him. I'll go over a match maybe an hour before my match, and go over a few times. And even after the last time we go over it, we walk away lost. I always put it together when the match comes. But the new style is what Vince brought to the game, which was you choreograph. You choreograph sometimes before that, not every single match. Vince had every match choreographed. Every moment was choreographed. Every moment was predetermined. It took all the fun out of it. Every bit of fun you're going to have, it's all gone. Now it's work. You're an actor and stuntman. You're not even a wrestler.
You're reading off the script and nothing. You can't go from the script.
You can't divvy from the script. There's no ad lib. There's no thinking on your feet. There's no taking it by ear. It's memory. So
in your matches, there's no more authenticity for you. You're just kind of going through the motions.
You're not making a good match. When it's choreographed, you're just following the steps. And if it goes good, it's good. If it doesn't go good, you have no control over it because you're just following the steps. But when you make a match on your feet or by ear, you hear the people. If something isn't working, you stop it. Or if something is working, you do more of it. But that stuff you call on your feet or think it on your feet. They used to judge a good wrestler on how good he could think on his feet, not how good he had a memory. As long as he could work, that's all that mattered. As long as he had a good ear, was followed the leader, and that's all that mattered. Now it's how good how good you remember a script. I can't remember a script, even if I wanted to. I can't remember a script. I'm not getting paid to remember a script. I'm not a stuntman. I'm not an actor.
Yeah, you're a professional wrestler.
Yeah, shouldn't have to talk who doesn't want to.
Do you think that hurt some of your mystique?
Oh, yeah, of course. It hurt it, and it also hindered it from me getting more successful because since I can't talk, there's a lot of positions I can't do in wrestling. Most of them I can't because I can't talk. Now, I can teach somebody how to talk. I know how to talk. I just can't do it myself. I'm too shy. For the character, that's one thing. It's good for the character, but it's also my true character, where I don't like talking that much. And I mostly show with my effort and my work more than describe it to you. See, my uncle said that I was special because I could connect with the people and never say a word. Everybody in that arena chant my name, and I won't say a word. I'll get them to chant my name without saying a word.
And your uncle was successful doing a lot of the same thing, right?
Yeah, but when he did it, he was a heel. When I did it, I was a babyface. Like he chairs and stab guys. But when I do it, people pop. When I threw a chair, people pop. I changed wrestling to where cheating was no longer cheating. Cheating was called fighting hard.
Yeah.
There was no hardcore matches before. Now and then they'd have a hardcore, sort of a hard. They wouldn't even call it brawl for it's all or brawl. They didn't even call it hardcore matches. Only the Dave Meltzer called it hardcore matches. And I remember Bruiser Brody was always the best hardcore wrestler. But there was never really hardcore wrestling meant back then was punch and kick. It didn't really mean this blood and guts that it does now.
Yeah, and you definitely transformed that into what it is.
Yeah,
now.
I turned from what was all heel move into babyface moves. Here, hit him with this. That's not cheating no more. That's playing good. That's playing hard. Like the other day, this guy was taunting me in Oklahoma, and finally I get fed up. I go to the ring and I pop him with a chair. Instead of people saying, "Hey, you just hit him in the chair, you caused him to lose," they said, "Yeah, you hit him with a chair, you made him lose." So it went from breaking the rules to making the rules.
Where do you see the current state of how hardcore wrestling and that kind of style has evolved to? I mean,
there's a spot. I guess there's a place for everything. I don't really like doing those matches no more because it's not sanitary. Mixing blood and body fluids isn't that appealing anymore. Hardcore wrestling is a shortcut. When you don't want to work hard, you punch kick. If we don't want to work hard, you become hardcore wrestling. That used to be the lazy man's way of work. I made it to where it was a work ethic.
You had a lot of matches with a lot of ECW guys too, and this was cool because it wasn't too much longer after ECW had gone out. Really,
yeah, we're still fresh.
Yeah, fresh. How did you feel about mixing in those elements into TNA? Did you like working with everyone again?
I'll just do it for the payoff. I really didn't have my heart into it. It's not that my heart wasn't into it. It was just another place to work, another place I thought would only be around a short time and then fizzle away. But it was around a lot longer than I thought. But it never always looked to me like they were a cheap WWE. They have the fireworks and the good lighting, but it looks like so staged. It looks like they're trying to copy somebody instead of beat somebody.
And a lot of overproduction, maybe?
Yeah, overproduction. Yeah, way over. Yeah. Like wrestling, sometimes just having a match can be the angle. You don't always have to have a storyline, and you don't have to overdo it by having a storyline for every single match, but they do. For me, I'd say tonight, Sabu is wrestling Raven. Go out there and have a match. And when something happens during that match, an angle will start. Nothing happens, and go on to the next guy.
But you're doing it more organically to where...
Letting something happen. Instead of, like ECW wasn't an extreme championship plan. It happened that way. I came into ECW at the same time Paul Heyman did, and it clicked to where my style is the style we followed. It wasn't they're the style, but we have a style in mind. There wasn't no style in mind. It was just my style we followed.
And that was ECW from when you got there. That was it. That was basically where it all shifted to.
Yeah, like whatever I did, everybody else started doing it. And which at the time I didn't swallow that easy. But that's to help build everybody today with stealing my shit. Yeah, that's all right.
You mentioned Raven and the matches you had with him. How's your relationship with Raven?
My relationship with Raven's great, but I've only had one match with him, and that was in TNA. He's good though. I mean, I like him. The whole time in ECW, we never even said hello to each other. And then after ECW, we became like best friends. He had his agenda, I had my agenda, and our paths never crossed in the dressing room. It's never crossed. Like you see everybody in the dressing room, and you say hello at one point, but sometimes your paths never cross to where you have a conversation with them. See, New Jack, our paths always crossed. Remember one time he goes, "Fuck everybody, all you guys, fuck all y'all, fuck you, except for you, Sabu, don't fuck you." He said, "Fuck everybody except for Sabu," which was funny, and we were always friends after that. We were friends before that, but that's when I knew that we were friends.
What were some of your favorite moments when you were in Impact? Do you have any matches that stick out in your mind?
Impact,
Or TNA, I mean?
the barbed wire match. I had a barbed wire match with Abyss. I forgot what it was called. Oh, Barbed Wire Massacre. I don't like the name of it, but anyways, that stuck out. That was pretty good.